May I now call the Senior Program Manager of RITQ, this is the Research Institute for Teacher Quality, to make their presentation also related to quality of our teachers in the country.
Yes, sir. Good morning po, Mr. Chair and the members po. Okay, can I have the slides po? Okay, RITQ hopes that we could somehow qualify what's going on in the TEIs now and how we can actually push for recommendations on what to do. However, we were given 3 months to do the study of the profiling of TEIs and teacher educators. So 3 months po yung nangyari. And then we have, as you can see, we have 1,553 TEIs across the Philippines. Ito po ay data from TEC as of April 2023. So, excuse me. Moving on. There are actually 2 questionnaires developed by RITQ. Survey 1, profiling teacher education institutions. Dito po ay for higher education institutions that offer teacher education programs. Sino po yung mga respondents namin dito? They include presidents, administrators, chancellors, campus directors, etc. And then the second survey po ay the profiling teacher educators. These are the teachers now. Faculty who teach courses under any teacher education program. Target respondents were faculty members who teach courses under any teacher education program at the undergraduate and or graduate level. So if you notice po, yung like I said, out of 1,553, ang nag-respond lang po na TEIs ay 380. That's 24.47% of the total TEIs across the Philippines. Ang ginawa po namin dito ay 5 beses kami nag-email, and then we also did a follow-up call. Tinawagan po namin yan. We even actually commissioned a lot of staff para lang makuha as much as possible yung sana 50% or more than 50% ang target namin. Unfortunately, ang hirap po talaga despite PASUK actually intervening, writing TEIs to respond to the research. Ayan po. Next po ay okay. Anyway, these are just examples po yung nakikita natin. What is the most offered bachelor's degree program among the 380 TEI respondents? So nakita po natin dito yung Bachelor of Elementary Education, BSE English, BSE Mathematics and then BSE Science to be the top 4 programs except for Region 13. Wala po silang BSE Mathematics and BSE Science. And then, okay po, next. Okay, based on the alumni tracer data of the 380 TI respondents, only 6 of 10 pre-service teachers proceed to classroom teaching. So if you notice po, ayan, under the education sector, this is 60.7%. Doon lang po siya sa 380 TEIs. So TEIs which do not have data po ay 26.62%. We can see po the future kasi may bago na po tayong ED. Baka one of the mandates po of the RA is magkaroon tayo ng malaking database to be able to capture all the data from all TEIs sana. So para makita talaga natin ang representation of what's really going on, anong qualifications pero ng TEIs natin at saka teacher educators. Next po. Here, 83.16 of the TEIs who responded to the survey have deans whose highest educational attainment is a doctorate in education. So this is important to note po to support na yung mga kanina pong pinakita natin if the COEs are performing or not. Medyo meron pong correlation, nakita kami that kung ang TEIs po, ang deans nila, ang presidents nila ay with the right qualification na may PhD, ang nag-coincide po, may correlation, lalo na sa performance ng CAR, Region 10, na mataas din ang performance nila sa licensure exam for teachers. So maybe this is too soon to say, pero po given that 380 respondents, lumalabas po at I think based on PIBED results po na nakalap nila sa PRC from 2010 to 2022 na nakita po namin high performing po yung sa CAR and other institutions na maganda po ang record or professional background ng mga leaders nila. Yes po, sir. Okay. So, ito po, among the 12,698 teacher educators from the 380 TEIs who responded to Survey 1, 8 out of 10 teacher educators hold a professional license in teaching. 8 out of 10, okay po sana yon. Pero 1 in 2 teacher educators are regular faculty. So meaning po, again, 9 out of 10 of them are licensed professional teachers, where around 7 to 8 of them are graduate degree holders, and only 6 to 7 of them are regular faculty members. Ibig po sabihin, may mga licensed faculty members na tuturo, pero hindi po sila regular. So ito po yung dapat tignan natin deeper later kung ano pong pwedeng gawin, okay, to support teachers para maging regular at the proper PD can be given to them also. Next po.
Meron bang doon yung years of service kasi merong minimum requirements before they become regular
yes po,
teachers.
Meron po.
So have you considered that in your study also?
Yes po. Ito po ay highlights lang pero meron po yun, we have questions for that po sa demographics and then number of years of teaching. Nakita rin po namin na maaring ang dahilan po ay like, for example, later on as I will show you the rest of the slides, yung qualification po natin sa CHED, for example, kailangan may master's and PhD ang nagtuturo. So probably kahit license sila, kung wala silang qualification nito ng master's or PhD, so they cannot be regular in TEIs. I think this is CHED memorandum din po. Okay. So, okay. This one po, alarmingly, 55 respondents, meron pong 55 respondents nakita namin who are teaching graduate schools pero bachelor's degree lang sila. So we can assume right now, kasi 55, maliit po yun, either this is the case or respondents may just have incorrectly responded to the survey kasi nagtitik lang po yan sila. So possible po. So nilagay po namin dito sila para at least we can do something to check this kung baka mayroon talagang nangyayari that may mga TEIs allowing bachelor's degree holder to teach actually graduate school. Okay, so yun po. And then this is what I was talking about kanina, Mr. Chair, yung correlation. Yung Cordillera Administrative Region po, okay, with the highest percentage of respondents whose teacher educators are LPTs or at least professionally licensed, tenured, and have graduate degrees. So if you notice po, incidentally, CAR performed second for elementary, third for secondary on licensure examination based on PBED longitudinal data from 2010 to 2022, while BARM performed 17th, last po yan. Okay, and then if you notice, BARM has the lowest percentage of TEIs whose deans hold a doctorate degree. So may correlation po somehow yung professional background ng leaders, okay, with the performance of licensure exam. However po, like I said, we only have 380 TEIs who responded. So the rest of the slides po ay mga examples lang ng details. So that's it po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much. Yes, actually, just one comment. You know, in the PISA of 2018, CAR also performed well compared to the other schools all over the country. So merong correlation siguro dito if we will, you made a correlation that those who have master's degree, schools, most of their faculty, ang performance nila sa licensure exam is mataas.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I highlighted po CAR dito, pero we also have NCR TEIs like, syempre, without bias po yung PNU, performing well din po sa LETCAP. Same po qualification with CAR. So we see that the need siguro later to support TEIs in terms of faculty qualifications. Like we have to help them make sure that their faculty are qualified po talaga.
Okay, I think Congressman Roman would like to ask some questions.
Yeah. Just to clarify yung point na sinasabi mo, yung ang sinasabi mo yung about kailangan may masteral degree, professional degree. Sino yung kailangan may ganun or they perform better?
As,
Sino yun? Just
Sir,
let's start
sinama
with
na
that.
po namin dito yung qualification for teaching graduate schools kasi mahalaga din po yung graduate school natin kasi dyan po yung patuloy na professional development ng mga basic ed teachers natin na nagma-masters para lalong gumaling po sa pagtuturo. So now we found po na may nasa CMO po ito ng SHED that requirements na po for regularization for permanent position po sa TEI ay kailangan at least master's degree.
Yes, yun nga yung gusto ko
Yes po.
ma-question eh. Why did CHED require this? Who from CHED could reply?
I can, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Dr. Permin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My colleagues from the Office of Programs and Standards Development said that there's no explicit mention that that is a requirement for tenure. It is a requirement for teaching at the higher education level. Remember, tenure requirements are contingent on certain institutional policies. So CHED has no control over that.
Dr. Chito, would you like
Mr.
to
Chair,
respond?
I can ask Chad, can you please check the MORFE? The manual regulation for higher education states that to regularize a faculty, they must have a master's degree. It's in the manual of regulations, sir, for private higher educations from the CHED.
Mr. Chair, may I
Yes,
respond
Dr.
to
Permin.
Dr. Salazar? Dr. Salazar, that's the manual of regulation for private higher education. So that's where a lot of institutional prerogatives really apply. All PSGs make mention that the minimum requirement to teach a higher education degree program is a master's degree. Yeah. Based on private higher education guidelines, sir.
So what you're saying, Dr. Ed, this is not applicable to public schools?
It is highly encouraged,
Highly
Mr.
encouraged,
Chair.
but it's not a mandatory requirement
For tenure, sir.
for tenure. But you need to have certain years of service before you can be promoted or to become a regular employee. That's the only requirement.
Mr. Chair, that's also governed by a lot of other institutional guidelines. So it could
what,
be...
what is really the guideline now? Can you teach? Of course, you cannot teach. Let's say you can, if you are a bachelor's degree holder, you cannot teach in the graduate school of a particular institution, di ba? Or PhD for that matter. But
Yes.
yung mga teachers natin, they cannot be tenured even when they don't have any master's degree, right? That's
Yes.
what you're saying.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Both public and private?
Because, Mr. Chair, I'm referring now to an actual document from CHED, that's CMO number 40, series of 2008. Interpreting the MORFE, you're correct, Dr. Salazar, as it also applies to state universities and colleges. So it's there. I stand corrected, Mr. Chair.
So it's a requirement.
Yes. It's a minimum qualification, Mr. Chair. It says for undergraduate programs, a holder of a master's degree. So to teach in a higher education institution, you need the master's degree. But there's no stipulation here that says it's the requirement for tenure.
Okay. So yes. So you can teach, but it does not necessarily mean that you have a tenure.
Yes, sir, because there's a lot of other
requirements,
research, community engagement, and so on and so forth.
What about in the private universities? What's the requirement of CHED?
I can speak, sir, for
NTC.
my experience in working in a private higher education institution. In fact, too, you cannot be tenured unless you meet the minimum requirements.
Which is a master's
degree. Yes, sir. On top of the research, community involvement, special innovation projects, and partnerships.
Dr. Bautista?
But from my memory, I guess as chairing some of the SUCs before, in practice, because it's a minimum requirement, So in practice, you get someone without an MA, but then I guess you can of course you cannot tenure the person unless the person has an MA, and then other requirements apart from the MA, diba? For the tenure, depending on the school, but it's a requirement. Yeah.
So in other words, you can teach, but probably while you are continuing your education to be able to obtain a master's degree, you can only have a tenure once you complete your master's degree.
Yes.
But you can teach even if you don't have a master's
Yes.
degree.
I guess experience of UP is such that we have instructors. They are not yet tenured, but when they get cannot be tenured unless they have a master's degree.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
Yes.
Chairman
but,
Roman.
Mr. Chair, at the end of the day, hindi ba lahat ng nagtuturo, lalo na sa SUCs natin, ang goal nila maging tenure, di ba? Maging regular sila, because that is what they yun yung career nila. So if you are not so pag SUC kailangan may masters to be tenured. Okay na tayo doon. We agree on that? Okay. If we agree on that, why do we require one to have masters to be tenured? My reason for asking that is that I used to be with higher ed. And during that time, yun yung complaint ng ibang professors, di ba? Teachers noon, because na kailangan silang mag-aral, mag-online sila or anything just to get a masteral degree. So ang point ko, kailangan ba talaga para maging tenured? In SUC na lang, kasi I understand, okay naman sa akin yung private, that's academic freedom. Yeah.
So I guess it is a norm of higher education globally that in fact, in certain institutions, you have to have a doctorate. The problem may be...
Why do we have to keep up with the Joneses in this respect? I mean, at the end of the day,
Yes,
yes.
sir. The assumption is that you do a master's degree, you develop the field, you develop your expertise and in terms of content in the field. I guess that's the premise. But
has it happened?
Well, it doesn't always happen because the quality of graduate education is so uneven in this country.
Yes. So in the meantime, should we not consider rethinking that? Well, of course, dapat tandanin ko pa lang ang CHED, yes. I'll ask CHED kasi when Dr. Sinch returns to CHED, we will ask her. But while wala pa siya, let's ask CHED first.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Dr. Bautista. Fortunately, Mr. Chair, we were able to understand why it's becoming so painful for higher education professors to actually complete a higher qualification. That's because we have a very compartmentalized view of pathways towards earning the graduate qualification. To remedy that, CMO 15 series of 2019 was already adopted, sir. And what this means is, let's say your faculty member really cannot attend the taught courses and actually is better at producing research. We now have a master's and PhD by research track. You don't have to attend classes. Well, maybe orientations, yes. Now, if you're a practitioner, and this is something that we are so excited about, instead of you just taking the taught courses, let's put in a recognition of your professional experience as an equivalent via a credit accumulation transfer scheme done by most European member states. And eventually, you get to finish it because you were doing so well in your practice. So that's in place, Mr. Chair, and I think it's exciting because this is what Dr. Sinch described to us a few years back when she was still in CHED as the renaissance of graduate education. So I think we're on the right track because relative to the Teacher Education Council's work also, there is provision using the National Educator Academy of the Philippines roadmap to facilitate a practitioner-driven master's and a further graduate track for teachers. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Chair, after you, Chair.
Yeah, we have a bill that was already approved on third and final reading here in the House, introducing this equivalency and accreditation program. And I hope the Senate will act on this so that we can institutionalize what is being done by so many institutions in the country. Thank you. Congressman,
for our ITQ, aware kayo doon, no? You are aware of that. Okay. Second, alam ko hindi naman na-touch dito, but pwede ba magtanong tungkol sa
Yes, yeah, pwede.
Yeah.
You can ask anything.
Yes. I want to ask about the qualifications for our SUC presidents.
You need to be, you should have an earned, that's the word, PhD, according to Republic Act 8292.
Yes. Is it about time to take a look at that? Hindi ba ang kailangan natin doon managerial skills? Hindi ba ang kailangan natin doon ay yung marunong magpatakbo ng isang malaking institusyon rather than let us keep the smart people really sa teaching eh. Kailangan natin silang tuturo, hindi nagmamanage eh. So is it about time we also take a look at that? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sila rin.
Sino bang sasagot? Meron comment si Dr. Online eh. Meron tayong online participant. Can we call on Dr. Ramos of the University of Makati? Dr. Ramos, would you like to?
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Doc Ramos.
I'd just like to share the experience of local colleges and universities that we cannot hire full-time faculty members unless they have a master's degree because this is a requirement of the Civil Service Commission. So the initial appointment will be disapproved if they don't have a master's degree. So unlike private HEIs that they can hire faculty who are still ongoing, taking up their masters ongoing, but they cannot be given tenure. Sa LUC po, mas mahigpit kasi hindi ka pwedeng ma-hire full-time kung wala kang master's degree. Madidisapprove po yan ng Civil Service Commission. And this is also one thing that we have also raised with the Civil Service Commission because especially for programs that are does not really attract students to take up masters. Like for example, maybe this is off topic, like for example, nursing. Kaya po kulang ng mga faculty to teach in nursing schools is because pag graduate ka naman ng nursing, hindi ka naman kukuha agad ng master's degree. Ang gusto mo magtrabaho ka sa ospital unless ang pathway na gusto mong puntahan ay talagang magturo. And that is also true for our teacher education, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. What about yung presidente ng mga LUCs? Ganun din ba? Kailangan ikaw ay may PhD?
Well, because of the UniFast law, if you are applying for institutional recognition so that you can be entitled to UniFast, then you have now to subscribe to the requirements of CHED that the university president must have an earned doctorate degree. But to a certain degree, I agree with the position of Congressman Roman that more than the academic qualifications of a PhD, a good managerial background is needed to run an academic institution, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, well, that's true. We need to review this. We will hear the comment of Ched on this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I subscribe to the idea, and now a very, may I say, a clear position. We need to distinguish educational leadership roles that will have impact directly on outcomes of teaching and learning, and those that would have outcome on institutional sustainability, procedural efficiency, sustainability, and so on and so forth, right? But if you ask me, I look at an institution as an organization that's dependent on excellent managerial skills. That I subscribe to. But where did the tradition of appointing a higher education president having strong academic backgrounds based? Again, it's tradition. Elsewhere, we really think that the president is the chief academic officer. I disagree. It's not necessarily that the president is the chief academic officer. That's why we have vice presidents for academic affairs. There are vice presidents for finance and so on and so forth. There are specific niches and responsibilities that will really demand a certain set of skills. But for the university president, the college president, I subscribe to the proposal, and this is not a CHED position, if I may just clarify, but it's something that we really need to rethink. Because, Mr. Chair, to your point, if you look at the outstanding universities out there now, they don't have their EDDs, PhDs, or even STDs. And by STDs, I say Doctor of Sacred Theology. They are actually managers. They are coming from industry. In fact, The presidents who are coming from industrial backgrounds make the institutions grow. There is a strong evidence on the ground that is supported by that practice. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You know, yung presidente namin sa UP, yung dalawa, the most recent o tatlo, walang PhD, mga lawyers eh. But of course, I don't like to make a conclusion on that. But ang bottom line lang, wala silang PhD. Si Dr. Cynthia, pwede.
Maybe just to add, I think we really need to review this. This is also not any institution's position. But what we have to strengthen is the equivalent of the academic leader within the university, which is the provost in many of the institutions. So the presidents are the ones who raise funds. They are the ones who manage everything. But then they have to have a good academic affairs person, which is the provost equivalent.
So hindi ba ito yung vice president for academic affairs in the
The
university?
equivalent of the provost is the vice president for academic affairs.
Yeah, so you will have a president, and under him or under her are all these vice presidents for administration, academic affairs, and so forth and so on, which is the provost, as you said.
That's why, sir, in other institutions, they are actually the primus inter pares of all of the vice presidents because they are the academic leaders. Yeah. But the academic leader the president does not have to be the academic leader of the university. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we have to look at on this suggestion, and probably we need to review existing laws or review the CMOs issued by CHED, which is very important. And we would like to hear the recommendation of CHED if we want to consider this proposal. Okay. Yes,
Sir,
Dr. Bautista.
may I just add also that it's very important na we actually consider the equivalencies, even for teachers. I think Professor Ed already mentioned this, but equivalencies, like there are fields, it cannot be one size fits all. There are fields when the dean may not need to have a PhD. In the professions, for instance, in other countries, they have professors of practice. I mean, these kinds of equivalencies we have to look into now.
Well, we will lead that thing to probably the board of regents of every university instead of coming out with a law that will mandate na wala na yan, kailangan ito, or it's very difficult. If we put certain leeway, we need to have a body that really have to decide on this particular let's say decision per school, no? Kasi iba yung situation in one school, and the one that would decide on that would be the governing board of every institution, including of course the president here. Yeah, Chairman Roman, I have a meeting at 10 o'clock and I need to be there because I'm going to vote there. So our vice chair of the committee, si Congresswoman Larnie, will preside, and I'll come back after we finish voting there.
So we will now resume our meeting. Earlier, we have Chair Roman. He has additional questions. Chair?
Madam Chair, just to clarify, there is a law which requires all SUC presidents to be to have a PhD or a master's. Is that correct? Is it a law or wala sa batas yun?
So who would like to answer? Attorney Peter of CHED Legal.
Madam Chair, as far as I think the law is RA 8292, but it is silent as to the qualifications of the SUC president as to whether or not he or she is required to have a PhD, Madam Chair.
Can we come again, Attorney? Can we clarify on your response? Are yes or no lang daw?
No po. No po.
So wala.
There's
So
no law.
yung requirement na yun sa
I-
IRR.
Yes po.
Sa IRR.
That is true po, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Attorney, being a lawyer, and I think I was advised by the COMSEC and by the chairperson that pinaalala sa akin, na sinasabi ko kasi na nasa batas. Sabi sa akin ni chairperson at ni COMSEC, wala sa batas. Sinabi nila na nandun nga sa IRR. So yung next question is, pwede po bang nasa IRR yun na wala sa batas itself? I mean, as a lawyer, di ba?
Yes po. Legally, there could be a challenge to that.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
In fact, yun ata yung posisyon ni Chairman Padilla raw during his time, Congressman Padilla, who co-chaired EDCOM 1, had that same po kayo ng pananaw na hindi dapat mas mataas yung requirements ng IRR kaysa sa dun sa batas itself. So, attorney, pwede nyo bang tingnan yun?
Yes po, Mr.
O bring it to the...
We will relay po
Yes.
to our chair po.
Thank you.